Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I have a really cute celebratory birthday set to showcase. This one is featuring little cupcakes and cakes featuring our punny little Cake It Easy, it's your birthday, and you take the cake. Today I'm going for a really fun and playful pink and blue themed card. And to make it that much more sweet, I have two pencils here with, I already tested it. They have my blue and my pink ink. And if you are someone who has a lot of different crafting instruments around the house, pencils, for example, are really cool at creating a polka dot effect with your card making. Anything that has a cap can be a really unique shape to stamp directly onto the ink. Either side, this Sharpie, for example, could create a really cool double circle effect, and maybe even different pen tips. There is a whole lot out there for you to experiment with, and all different kinds of shapes to create if what you have available to you at the moment might not fit with what you really want. So with that said, I have all my supplies. I have 4 different Jacquard pigment ink pads: frost white, black, shabby pink, and this one is cyan. So I have all those. I have 2 different size acrylic blocks. I also have 2 heat embossing powders. Both of these are by the brand Recollections. This one is, let's see, Party Pink, perfect. And this one has no label on it, but it's this really glittery gold color. So these are by Recollections. And then I also have a few Cricut cutouts. Now, I did change it up and I took a textured cardstock and cut this out on this kind of neutral gray color. And then I went back in and changed the paper out for just a classic white. So work smarter, not harder. If you have different colored papers available, use them to your advantage with your Cricut, because now I have a really nice cake stand that will be framed, and I should be all good to go. I'm planning on kind of having this as a backdrop, kind of off the card, and with my little topper. So let's get this show on the road. Today I am going to start, honestly, I think I'm gonna work backwards. I'm gonna set this aside because I want to be able to stamp this first. So let's get all of this set aside. And I am going to create a really cool, cute confetti effect. Set that all aside. And I have my 2 different pencils. And all you do, really dunk that onto the pad and then push. And it creates this really cute, almost perfect circle. And you do want to dunk almost every time, because if you don't, there's just not enough ink left on. I don't want to confetti my entire piece because I want this to be kind of like a cascade down. So more concentrated at the top and kind of falling down. Even get in there and overlap. You can even kind of triple. good. And if you don't get it all the way, just hit it again. There we go. Pencil erasers and even just the big jumbo pinky erasers have a really great printing texture to them, and they are also moldable. So you can take an X-Acto knife or a scissors and carefully cut them and reshape them. If you are familiar with printmaking, you can also take a scoring tool for printmaking and cut out your own design. There's plenty of little tutorials and tips and tricks online. But in this case, work with what you have, and just like this, you can start to get a really unique effect. Now, I did go ahead and grab an additional clear embossing powder. I want to seal in my ink on my card because I am going to be risking any smudging or smearing. So this is just going to be kind of like a parachute safety net to make sure that nothing is getting smeared. These are in some high gloss granules. So it's not a really fine powder, but more of kind of a sandy texture. All right, not bad. So it gives it just a little bit of a reflection. If you do not have any clear embossing powder, just really make sure that all dries down. But I am going to keep going and start stamping. Looks like I need the big one. My other elements. I will be also heat embossing these as well, so I am just going to get them stamped first. I had a realization that the cupcake I had just was not doing it for me, so that's all a part of the creative process. So if something doesn't turn out, try and save it, try it and maybe cover it or blend it or use a different technique. And I did that, but it just was not looking good. So I'm gonna go back, and I have another cutout, and I just have my pointer finger and this flat brush, and I'm just doing this kind of like blush, very light blended wash over this cupcake shape. And it's just to give it a really light, almost like a dusting. If you have the actual blending brush, even better, but your finger or just a paintbrush like this that you have, just really brush, 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 brush. Much better. All right, so all I did was take my finger and a clean brush and just kind of give it this halo cast around the back of the cupcake to really make it pop out more rather than blend into the back. Whoa. To give it more of that kind of pop out effect, going in with my foam feet. I'm going to place it kind of overlapping the tray. And then I'm going to have another on the back of my sparkler. And then maybe I'll just do a little so that little stem isn't just kind of flapping and not secured. And that card had a lot of trial and error, so if you hit a point where you're like, you know what, I'm good, that's enough, listen to yourself and stop there. One of the biggest mistakes as a crafter, as an artist, as a creative person is to hit that wall and think, you know what, I'm just gonna push through and I'm gonna keep going and keep going and keep going. That's when things start to really fall apart. So listen to yourself and take a break, walk away, get a cup of coffee, and come back to it fresh-faced. You can actually apply that to a lot of situations in life rather than just card making. So that's my advice for you today. I had a lot of trial and error, but I saved it. I think it still turned out cute. I loved our eraser custom stamping. I have some nice shine and sheen with my heat embossing, and my cupcake is sitting nicely on my little cake stand. So a lot of really cute and fun techniques that I used here that could be applicable for a wide range of crafting and card making. As always, we would love to see what you will do next with our stamps, and hit us with a hashtag stamp with us on social media. Again, that's hashtag stamp with us. That way we can see what you will create. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time. Goodbye.